The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic. Psalm 29:4. From the very beginning of time, God established one unshakable truth. His voice is the highest authority in the universe. Nothing disobeys him, nothing resists him, nothing can stand when he speaks. When God said, "Let there be light," darkness didn't delay for a second. It disappeared instantly, not because light negotiated, but because creation responds to his voice. And if creation responds to him, so will the storms, battles, fears, and uncertainties in your life. Many people today are overwhelmed not because the storm is too strong, but because they have forgotten that God's voice is stronger. When Jesus was sleeping in the boat and the storm rose, the disciples panicked. They allowed fear to speak louder than faith. But Jesus stood up and released one instruction: "Peace, be still." And in that moment, the wind recognized its creator, the waves recognized their master, and the storm bowed in obedience. That same voice is speaking over you today. Maybe you're in a season where confusion is loud, where fear wakes you up at night, where decisions feel heavy, or where you're asking God for direction. Just remember, God's voice still breaks cedars, still shakes wildernesses, still divides flames of fire, and still brings his people strength and peace. Psalm 29:5-11. The problem is never God's silence. The problem is we often tune into the wrong frequency: fear, doubt, anxiety, opinions, pressure, and noise. But just like a mother recognizes the cry of her child, you can learn to recognize God's voice above everything else. When he speaks, clarity comes. When he speaks, direction comes. When he speaks, courage rises. When he speaks, chains fall. When he speaks, peace settles. And sometimes God's voice doesn't come as thunder. Sometimes it is a whisper, like in 1 Kings 19:12, reminding us that he is close, intentional, and deeply involved in our story. Think about Abraham on Mount Moriah. One word from God stopped a knife from falling. Think about the man at the pool of Bethesda. One command, "Rise, take up your bed and walk," ended 38 years of stagnation. Think about Peter walking on water. One instruction, "Come," lifted him above the waves. Think about creation itself. Every mountain, river, star, and atom moves at the sound of his voice. If God can command galaxies, he can command your situation. If he can speak to storms, he can speak to your mind. If he can call dead bones to stand up like an army, Ezekiel 37, he can resurrect anything that looks lifeless in your life. The question today is not, will God speak? He already is. The real question is, will you trust his voice more than your circumstances? So let me ask you, what area of your life needs to hear his voice today? Drop it in the comments. Let us pray and believe together for God to speak into it. Before you scroll away, let me know in the comments, what do you need God to speak over today? And if this blessed you, like, share, and subscribe for more faith-filled content.